Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today I wanted to talk real quickly about this new standing desk that I got. So this is a manual crank standing desk. It's branded by a company named Vivo, but I've actually seen it, I swear it must be rebadged by other companies. I've seen it under the name of EleTab or other kind of quote-unquote manual crank standing desks. This one I ended up getting for around $220, and what I wanted to do today was just talk a little bit about unboxing it, getting it set up, and how we got it to this state, as well as give a couple of my first impressions. So if that sounds like a bunch of fun, why don't we go ahead and roll back the clock and get this thing out of the box. All right, so first thing to do is let's get it out of the box. You can see actually it's not just a generic box. It actually does say the name of the company, Vivo, and I guess the model, whatever they've gone ahead and rebadged this thing as. But that's pretty much about it. Nothing else spectacular. So let's just go ahead and cut this guy open. All right, so let's see what we've got inside here. This looks like the countertop. Yep, here's the top. It's this white I got the white version. And again, it's just this melamine, nothing spectacular. Looks like it actually came a little bit chipped already. I don't know if you can see this too easily right here, but it came dented, but oh well. So this looks pretty straightforward. So it looks like we got some legs here. Okay. One leg. And then another leg. Okay, let's just put the legs like so. And then a little box of hardware. And all right, here we got, let's see, I guess a little brochure. Aha, great, instructions. And then here's the cross brace, I believe. Okay, and again, surprising, it is branded as it says Vivo. That's kind of interesting. Okay, it's very nice. And then part of the crank. And then the actual crank. So that looks like it. That's really simple. It's basically tabletop, two legs, cross brace, and two parts for the crank, instructions, and then just a packet of 8 bolts, looks like. So let's go ahead and get it put together. All right, so this really couldn't be easier. I've just taken the tabletop and turned it upside down. You can actually see it's already got 6 inserts already in the tabletop. So I just take one of the legs, and again, this is upside down, but I'm just gonna line it up with the holes, and then just take some of the supplied screws, or bolts, I suppose, and put them in. And then we just need to finger tighten everything to start with. All right, so now that I've got this first leg installed and sort of finger tight, what I want to do is I want to make sure that this leg is fully retracted. So I'm going to take the crank knob, or the crank handle, and let's just make sure that it is retracted all the way. Okay, it is retracted. Perfect. So now what I can do is we'll take this sink rod and plug it into that side. Perfect. Now that it's plugged in, I can take my second leg, and again, these legs don't seem like they have a left and a right. They seem pretty much symmetrical. And let's do the exact same thing. Let's make sure that this leg is also all the way retracted. There we go. Okay, and now hopefully these should line up. And you may have to play with this a little bit just to get it to line up exactly. Okay, lined up. And now we can go ahead again, take our screws, and we'll finger tighten in this second leg. All right, so now let's grab our cross brace piece, and I guess I'm going to make sure that I position this so the words are in the correct direction. And basically, it only goes on one way, pretty much, and I'm just going to do the same thing. I'll finger tighten in the supplied bolts. Whoopsies. All right, once everything is roughly in place, let's just go ahead and go through and tighten up all the bolts. All right, so we got the whole thing assembled. Now all we need to do is just flip it right side up. So it's not that bad. I've weighed this thing's about 60 pounds, so you might want to get some help, but if not, it's not so bad to flip over yourself. So let's just flip it. there we are. Okay. Now, if we wanted to adjust the level, the bottom feet actually, these little guys, they spin. So that's kind of nice. So we could spin this and level this if we want. But, okay. So here's the desk, and then I think the last thing we can do is take our manual crank handle. And the nice thing, the reason I got this desk is actually because the crank is on the side, so you can just put this in on the side here, either on the right side of the desk, and let's give it a try. Oh yeah, there we go. Cranking and it's coming up. Or you can take this out, it's completely removable, and it can also go on the other side as well. There you go. Okay, so we got ourselves our standing desk, so let's throw some stuff on here and see how it works. All right, so here we are with the desk in the sitting mode. So this is the fully retracted configuration, and right now you can see that the distance from the floor to the top of the desk is 29 inches. Furthermore, from side to side, it's 55 inches long by 23.5 inches deep, and as you can see, that's plenty of room for a laptop, one monitor. I'm sure you can even stick a second monitor here if you want. Other accoutrements, phones, whatever else you need. This seems to work out quite well. The manual said that this has a limit of 88 pounds for the maximum load. I don't think I'm anywhere near that with this kind of setup, but it's pretty comfortable. So you can see, even with the chair with arm rests, I can scoot this in no problem. And the other thing to maybe be aware of, I was semi-concerned about this earlier, but there's that cross brace bar underneath here, and I can't hit my knees on it, so this is perfect here. So I can barely brush my knees against that bar, and as you can see, I'm scooted in almost to an uncomfortable degree. So I think naturally, if I was just sitting at the desk, it'd be something along this line. And again, this is perfect. 29 inches feels really nice actually for sitting down and working at this desk. That being said, I think what we probably want to see is you probably want to see this thing lifted up. And all right, so let's go ahead and raise this up to the standing configuration. So again, to do that, that's just a handle on this side that I have attached. I'm going to start a stopwatch just so we can see how long this takes. And I counted, this takes about 46 or so revolutions to raise it all the way up. And you can kind of notice that as you're raising it, it's a little bit wobbly. Whoops, see, there you go. So it's not the sturdiest thing. Whoops, I'm about to lose I gotta stabilize the desk as we do this. Because it's not the easiest thing in the world. Well, I mean, it's actually quite easy to do, but it's not the stablest. There we go. Okay, now we're done. So here we are in the upright configuration, and again, in the standing mode, you can measure this, and the distance from the floor to the top is about 47.25 inches, which is actually quite tall. So, and you can see it took less than 45 seconds to get this all the way up. So it's not that bad. This is almost too tall. So I'm 5'10", and this is too tall to work at. So I'm actually going to raise this down a skosh. Whoops. And again, you see, this is the one problem I have with this desk is during the standing and raising operation, it's not the most stable. And here we go. So this is a little bit better, a little bit more comfortable. And actually, at this point, I'm going to bring in a bar stool. And actually, you can see that if you have a bar stool, this is about the right height. So this is about the same height as a, as a bar, I suppose. And this is actually a pretty convenient way that I think you won't even have to think about raising and lower. You can probably just sit in the bar stool all day and then just hop off when you want to stand. The one issue I do have with this is if you notice, it's not super duper sturdy. So if I just kind of, whoops, see, there you go. See, some of this stuff is wiggling off. So just typing, I guess it's probably okay for normal typing. Let me just try something. This is normal typing. Yeah, so I can see the monitor move a little bit, so it's got a little bit of flex. But I guess what can you expect for this price? Other than that, though, it seems pretty reasonable. I mean, the raising and lowering seems quite easy. And actually, let me show you one other cool way you can do this, and maybe we'll turn this into an electric desk. So the nice thing about this is if you don't want to stand around cranking this like a Neanderthal, you can actually just remove the handle, grab yourself a drill bit with a H6 socket here, and basically you can just plug it right in, and again, make sure you got the tension correct, and here we go. Here, actually, let's just see how long this takes. Let me reset this, and we'll go start. Whoa! Look at that, 5 seconds to the down position in that situation. So I think that's pretty good. All right, so there you have it, some first impressions of this Vivo manual crank standing desk. Again, I'm pretty happy with it so far. I'm a little nervous about the play and the wiggliness like this. You can actually see right there in the standing configuration, but I think it's something I'm going to be able to live with. That being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. If so, I also hope you'll consider subscribing to the channel. Surprisingly, if you just scroll down a little ways and click on that subscribe button, it really does help me continue making these videos. And if you do that, you'll actually get to see where I plan on installing this in the future, and it's not actually in an office. So with that being said, I really hope to catch you in one of these future videos. So until then, I guess I'll just say bye.